Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Taylor, and I am the advocate of the devil. Look up in the sky. Is it a bird? A plane? No, it's a superhero movie franchise. Comic book characters and unprecedented scenarios and convoluted storylines. Oh my! This past decade has seen an unbelievable increase in the amount of Caped Crusaders that we get to enjoy on the big, small, and internet screens. Thankfully, they've all been, well, they all exist anyways. Wasn't always like that though. It used to take years sometimes, almost a decade, before we would see these comic book characters come to life. And franchises? Big budget blockbusters need not treat these heroic characters with any kind of respect. Enter the Batman, DC's one ace in the hole. Beginning with Tim Burton in 1989, Bruce Wayne's adventures on the big screen have been largely up and down. You get one good movie, like the original, then a not so good one like Batman Returns. You get some great character actors for Batman Forever, and well, then there's Batman and Robin, universally looked at as one of the worst in the whole bunch. This movie bombed so hard that we needed to get a whole franchise reboot to wash the bad taste out of our collective mouths. And while Christian Bale did an admirable job in making us forget this atrocity of a movie, one could say that Batman and Robin will never, ever be looked kindly upon, right? But here's the thing. Despite its many flaws, I actually enjoy watching this flick. And hopefully after I state my case, you fine folk will see it in a new light as well. So take a moment and do a little bit of Facebook stalking. Go ahead, I want you to find me on the Book of Facing and scroll down, because whether it's something that I shared myself or something that was shared on my wall by a friend, there is one thing that remains a relative constant. Puns! Wordplay! And the occasional rant. And that's why, when this happened...
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
And then this right here...
All right, everyone, chill.
And then one more time...
Cool party.
I was ecstatic. And don't worry, I won't subject you to any more of that. Wouldn't want to give my fans the cold shoulder. But puns and wordplay, that's my jam. It's in my top favorite things of all time. And that's exactly the point. Under normal circumstances, we see a Batman or hell, any comic book character, and they start believing their own hype, taking themselves entirely too seriously. And this movie bucked that particular trend. And you know, it reminded me of something else. The Adam West Batman series. There was another series that was steeped in lore straight from the comic books, filled to the brim with memorable characters, and for the longest time, that was our Batman. Nowadays we have broody, angsty, angry, Batman. But back in the 60s, this was Batman. It was how he was portrayed in the comics, it's how he was shown to hundreds if not millions all around the world. And there's nothing wrong with that. What is one of our catchphrases here at Devious Advocacy? Different medium equals different universe. Ah, yes, that's right. And it's the same thing right here. But if we had already had the broody goth-style Batman, wouldn't this be taking a step backwards? Well, not really. This was a necessary step. See, for all intents and purposes, comic books are stories for kids. Whoa, don't write that angry comment down below. I'm not saying that adults can't read them, and I'm not saying that there aren't some comics that were designed for an adult's mind. But truly think about what most superheroes are. A 20 to 40 something adult punching around their bad guys in their underwear, just because they have different opinions than they are. Yes, that does take some infantile thinking. So when Tim Burton's Batman, the first one, was largely successful and he had largely free reign to do what he wanted, he made a dark, demented, twisted movie that still had the aesthetics of the first, but it scared the bejesus out of a lot of people.
He plots a foul reign of destruction.
My dear penguins!
Movie-going audiences, advertisers, and yeah, even me, I couldn't watch it all the way through. Actually, until a couple of years ago, I couldn't do it either, but actually that was more due to lack of interest than actual fear. So Batman Forever comes out, and it does pretty well for itself, so Joel Schumacher has the opportunity to do what Tim Burton did after his first success, and that is make a movie that is entirely his own vision. To me, it was a necessary move to make. You know why I said comics are for kids? You want to know why Marvel is so successful at what they're doing, and Disney before it, and Star Wars? Because they targeted children first and foremost. Because there are still comics aimed at kids. Because of places like Burger King and McDonald's that will toss their toys to every kid's meal. It is strong and effective marketing. And people who are fans of things will continue to be fans after their children going into adulthood. Some people call it nostalgia, but I call it just being a fan. It's why I love the Star Wars movies and pro wrestling and video games. It's because I loved them as a kid. As I love the Batman. And Robin. Despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, I do hope I managed to shed some light into exactly what I appreciate out of the Razzie Award-nominated Batman and Robin. Whether it be in the puns for days, or the homage to the Adam West version back from the 60s, Batman and Robin was not the horrible movie that most fans would like to claim it was. If you want the broody, angsty Batman, he still exists. Me, I like options, and this movie provided that in spades. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with everything we have going on here at Devious Advocacy. And if you want to speak with us directly, you can do so on Discord. There's a link in the description below. I would like to take this opportunity to personally thank those who have donated on Patreon so far. The words thank you will never be strong enough. And finally, and most importantly, let us know in the comments below what you think. Is Batman and Robin the worst of Bruce Wayne's caped crusades? By all means, let your own views clash with my own, so that I may proceed to prove you wrong.
I drink, and I know things.
But for now, in the case of Batman and Robin, the defense rests.
Always winterize your pipes.